Ah, I hope this helps. I don't know what to do. This video might be a mistake, but I, I don't know what to do. Hello. I hope I hope making this video makes me feel a little better. Maybe getting it off my chest. I don't know. This is the first time I've had to go through something. So I'm sorry. I keep making sad videos. This morning I had to put my dog down because of his seizures. I haven't slept in a few days because his seizures were getting worse. Yesterday, after work, I had to go and buy food for my dogs, and my mom wanted to go with me. We were gone for like 15 minutes, and when we came back, my dog, his name is Aroc. He a little grumpy boy. He honks when he walks. If he has a toy in his mouth and he runs, he honks. We came home and I found him in the corner of my room having a seizure. And I had to take care of that on my own because my mom couldn't stand to see him like that. So every time he had a seizure, I had to deal with it by myself. But yesterday, he it was really bad, and I took him a bath after he calmed down. I don't know what I'm doing. I took him a bath. I cleaned him up, and he was fine for a while. And then when we were gonna go to sleep, he kept crying, and then he had another seizure. And then it was like 2 in the morning, and Angie came and she helped me. You know, she was with me, and my dog, he he ended up biting his tongue and stuff, you know, but he was okay. It was just like a little nick, and then uh, around 6 o'clock, because we were gonna take him to the vet. Around 6 in the morning, I finally tried to get some sleep for an hour. I tried to get an hour's of sleep, and then Angie woke me up in 20 minutes, or I think it was 20 minutes. It wasn't. I don't even know if it was past 10 minutes. I don't know. Because he had another seizure. So he had 3 seizures. And we had to wait for the vet to open up. And around 8, I ran over to the vet, and while we were outside, he had another seizure. And it was a bad one. And then we got to the vet. I ended up having to put him down. he had another seizure while they were putting him down, you know. And and I just want to say thank you to Angie, because at least she was in the room with him, because I couldn't. I thought I can do that, and I couldn't do that. I don't know how I'm feeling right now. This is the first time a death actually affected me. I had Aroc for half my life. I had him when I was a kid. When we just moved over here. We just moved to the apartment. And I begged my mom for years. As a kid, I always wanted a dog. I begged her every day for a dog, but we couldn't have one because she's allergic to animals. And one day on my way to school, I saw a flyer for Shih Tzus. And I don't know why, but I took a picture. And when I got home that day, I told my mom about it. She looked up Shih Tzus, and she found out they're hypoallergenic. Oh, I can't stop crying. I haven't cried like this in years. I don't cry. I never cry. We found out Shih Tzus were hyperallergenic. And my mom called the number. And the man came with 3 puppies. And I saw him. And that was, as soon as I saw him, I knew that was the one I wanted. He was a little puffball. He like a little cloud. And my mom wanted the same one. And the man was nice enough. He gave us a trial run to see if my mom was actually allergic. And after a week, we found out she was fine with him. And we got him. And he was my first dog. I got my first dog. I always wanted a dog. It was the one thing I wanted as a kid. Every year I asked for one. And I had him. And his name is Aroc. He's an asshole. He was an asshole. He used to run up to other dogs and try to attack them. He used to attack people. Not in a bad way, just if they got too close to me, he would attack them. He was a jerk. He used to steal other dogs' snacks. He made bigger dogs scared of him. He basically ran our neighborhood. All the other dogs were scared of him. A little Shih Tzu. That was my little boy. And he was obsessed with hedgehogs. He only played with his hedgehog toys. And every time he had one of the toys in his mouth and he ran, you would hear him running and honking. His feet would click on the floor, and then you hear like honk, 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 honk. And he was always snorting like a little pig. Oh, he was there all the time. He was always there. Even though he was a jerk. He was my little boy. He was perfect. The biggest Shih Tzu on the block. No one was bigger than him. He used he used to have hops. He was able to jump really high. Like really high. My mom's bed is like it's really lifted up. And he was able to jump the first day we got him. He was able to jump up on the bed. We were shocked. And then when he was old, sometimes he would miss the bed and he would end up hitting his face on the side. And then he would get upset and bite my toes. And we used to fight because he would sleep with me. And if my foot touched him slightly, he would bite my toe and I would wake up and hit him. And then he'll bite me back. And then I'll push him. And then he'll jump on me. We used to wrestle. And then around 2019, I remember we found out I couldn't be alone for too long. And I had to stay in a friend's house and we took him with us. And he stayed with me in my friend's house and my friend had an elevated bed also, a really high one. And he was old already. Aroc was old. I didn't like him jumping. And as a joke, when Aroc got up to the bed, I patted it and I was like, "Oh, can you jump up here?" I didn't think he could, because how old he was getting. And my childhood friend came by and he started making fun of Aroc, going, "Hey, your stupid dog can't jump up there. He's old as hell. He's gonna die if he tries." And Aroc looked at him. Aroc turned around, looked at him, turned back to the bed, and started squatting. He started squatting, like powering up his jump. He was charging up. And he did it in his first try. He jumped all the way up on the top of the bed. And he shocked both of us. My boy was so cool. And then he got blind. And then he became deaf. He was deaf and blind. And then he couldn't walk right. And I got him his wheelchair. It's just a stroller, but I like calling it his wheelchair. And then last year I got Chestnut because I didn't like Aroc being alone when I had to go to work. And I bought Chestnut to keep Aroc company. And Aroc, being the asshole he is, kept trying to attack Chestnut, who was a baby. It took a few months, like 5 months, for Aroc to finally get used to Chestnut. Last month, Aroc and Chestnut were able to sleep on my bed together, and Aroc didn't bother Chestnut. Chestnut didn't bother Aroc. They just slept. They took up all of my bed. No joke, I would sleep hanging off the bed. But Aroc would cry all night. For 2 years I haven't been sleeping right because Aroc cried. He would cry all night. And then this year he started crying during the day. If he wasn't sleeping, he was crying. He was crying all the time. He liked going outside in his stroller, in his little wheelchair. I even bought a double wheelchair so Chestnut could ride with him. And every time we walked Chestnut, he was scared at first to go out by himself. But when we would take Aroc in his stroller, Chestnut would be happy and running around and hyper. And he'd always run up to the stroller to make sure Aroc was there. And I took Chestnut out today by himself. And he kept looking back, looking for the stroller. I didn't think I'd be bothered. Not like this. I grew up with Aroc. That was my boy. That's my baby. My little poopa. My little poopa. I've been crying all day. I have a headache. I don't know. Maybe talking. I'm trying to start talking more instead of bottling it all up. I know he's better now. He's not crying no more. He looked peaceful when he went. He looked peaceful. Aroc outlived all the other dogs. Like an asshole. I remember playing near Automata. And Aroc would always run up. He'd always run up to me. Like, he knew I was gonna play it after I came home from college. He'd run up to the bed, jump on, and sit right between my legs. And like, I swear, it's like he was watching me play the game. He did it every time. And I remember, it felt like we were just sitting there bonding. Cause he didn't really, like, he never watched me play my games, you know. But for some reason, for Nier Automata, he always came around just to watch me play and relax with me. I've been sitting in my room and looking at the door waiting for him to wobble his fat ass over here. I keep thinking I hear him crying. It's gonna be weird to stream and not have to worry about hearing him whine in my mom's room. Or whine in front of my door because he wanted to come in. Or bark at 2 in the morning. It's gonna be weird to actually sleep. It's gonna be weird to sleep. I'm honestly scared to go to sleep. He won't be here when I wake up. I won't feel him. I can't hold him. I thought I was ready. I'm always ready. I thought I'd be ready. I thought I'd be ready for him. I'm sorry this video is so sad. I just thought maybe if I talked about it, I feel a little better. I didn't know what to do today. All day I've just been sitting here crying and thinking. I've never experienced something this bad. I've seen a lot of family members die, but it's never affected me the way this affects me. Aroc was my little boy. It honestly feels like he was the only thing I ever loved. He's the only thing I ever cared about. That sounds stupid, right? It was the only good thing. It was my little thing. I don't know how long morning lasts. How long does that last? How long? It's such a weird feeling. You're probably watching and going, what? It's so weird. It's weird, right? As long as I know he's alright. He's okay. I'm trying to do better. I might cry tomorrow. I don't want to stop making videos. I don't want to take a break. Just 'cause it takes my mind off things. This channel is to help me. I've been looking at Chestnut and going, dang, is this what I have to go through with you in the future? Oh, this is gonna suck. I love my boys, but Aroc was number one. He was my first one. The one thing I wanted in life. I keep trying to laugh. I don't know how to deal with depression, so I try to laugh it through. I've never been through mourning. It's hard to laugh at. I miss my chunky boy.